Assalamualaikum and very good morning to everyone. So my name is Muhammad Luman Hakim bin Ismail Shaib. I am the group leaders for this group and my group member is Muhammad Danish Haikal bin Johari at Elias and Aidah binti Abu Hanafi and the last one is Nur Atika Izzati binti Zulkifli. And our video is about business accounting and our lecturer is Puan Huzaimah binti Baharudin. Is the table of the contents. So in this video, it complements three things, which the first one is the transactions of Danish enterprise, and the next one is the four type of source documents, and the last one is a book of prime entry, which from each source documents.
This is the list of the transactions in the Danish enterprise. This transaction will show the example on how it be recorded into the source of document and into the book of prime entry. A delivery order is a document from a consignor or his agent of freight carrier which orders the release of the transportation of cargo to another party. Usually, the written order permits the direct delivery of goods to warehousemen, carrier, or other person who, in the course of their ordinary business, issue warehouse receipt or bills of lading. In delivery order, its content is the name of company. For example, Ida Enterprise. Second, name of the item order such as drawer. Third, name of the customer. For example, Danish Enterprise. Fourth, shipping address of the items ordered by the customer, such as Jalan Wirawati A, Taman Maluri, 55100 Kuala Lumpur. Next, address of the company. For example, Jalan Pengkala Jepa, Taman Mesra, 16100 Kota Baru, Kelantan. Lastly, date of purchase, for example, 5 October 2021.
Next is purchase order and sales order. The function of purchase order is purchase order or PO is a document made by the buyer or customer to show the goods they want to buy from the seller or supplier. A purchase order is a contract that forms an agreement between the buyer and the seller regarding the goods that the buyer wants to buy. So this is the format of purchase order. The transaction is in 3 October. Danish Enterprise bought a tray of 20 quantity with 200 ringgit from Ikram Enterprise. Ikram Enterprise is the supplier and Danish Enterprise is a customer. So in here, particulars is chair, quantity is 20, price per unit is 200 ringgit, and total amount is 4,000 ringgit. So next is sales order. Function of sales order is the sales order confirms the term of the transaction between the buyer and seller. The seller generates the order, often is response to the purchase order. The seller may send this document to the customer or rely on it solely for internal use. The sales order details the quantity, price, delivery time frame, and more. So this is a format of sales order. The transaction is in 18 October, Danish Enterprise sells armchair of 30 quantity with price per unit is 215 ringgit. So to Ikram Enterprise. In here, Danish Enterprise is a supplier and Ikram Enterprise is a customer. The particulars in here is armchair because Ikram Enterprise by armchair to Danish Enterprise from Danish Enterprise. So the quantity is 30, price per unit is 250 ringgit, so the total amount is 7,500 ringgit. So this is a cash book. So this is a two-column cash book. In the debit side, in 18 October, the particulars is sales because in 18 October, Danish Enterprise sold armchair to Ikram Enterprise in cash 7,500 ringgit. In the credit side, in 3 October, the particulars is purchases because Danish Enterprise sold armchair to Ikram Enterprise in cash 4,000 ringgit. So in the credit side, the balance sheet in the credit side in 30 October, the balance today is 3,500 ringgit in cash. So the next month, the balance BD in 1 November is 3,500 ringgit.
Official receipt. What is function of an official receipt? An official receipt is a document used by the supplier as an acknowledgement of the payment received from the customer and is used in cash transaction. It is normally issued by the supplier to the customer. It contains the dates, item description, total value of cash received, and receipt of payment in cash or check. In the box below, we can see the example of an official receipt. Cash book. A cash book is used to record all cash transactions of business. It looks more like a T account with two sides, one debit in left side and one credit in right side. All cash receipts either by check or money are recorded on the debit side, while all cash payments either by check or money are recorded on the credit side. In the box below, we can see the two-column cash book. The sales in two-column cash book is from the unofficial receipt, and it is on the debit side. The two-column cash book is used to record all cash receipts and payment. It has two columns which are cash in hand and cash at bank on both the debit and credit side of the cash book. This type of cash book is used to record entries without cash discount.
Invoices. Invoices main function is evidence that transaction has been happened to the business. Invoices is a document used by the supplier to request payment of goods delivered to the customer. It is used in a credit transaction and it is issued by the supplier to the customer. So this is how it looks like for the invoices. It contains the date, description of the amount to be paid by the customer, which is 1,200, and it have the name of the person who in charge, which Danish, and it also have the number of the invoice and the customer and the supplier name. So from the invoice of purchases, we need to record it into the book of right entry, which is sales journal. Sales journal is known as a sales daybook. The function is to record the credit sales of the business inventory only. So this is how it looks like for the sales journal. It have the date of the transaction, it have the customer name, it have the invoice number, and it have the total of amount that need to be paid. Invoice purchases. It is a document used by a customer to request payment of goods delivered to the supplier. It is used in a credit transaction and is issued by the customer to the supplier. So this is how it looks like for the invoice of purchases. It contains the supplier and the customer name. It have the date of the transaction. It have the description of the transaction, which wooden chair of 10 quantity, and it have the total amount, which 1,000, and it have the name of the people who prepare the invoice. So from the invoice of purchases, we will record it into the book of prime entry, which is purchase journal. Purchase journal is known as a purchase daybook. The function is to use the record the credit purchases of the business inventory only. So this is how it looks like for the purchase journal. It have the date, the customer name, it have the invoice number, and it have the total of the amount that being paid. That's all for our group. So it was a pleasure to present this video to you guys. So I hope in this video will be a benefit and get a new knowledge for students of accounting. So thank you. See you again.